Hi, I am Linda Lilienfeld, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to be here. I am from New York City, and I actually work in Washington and New York, and I am a picture and film researcher for 40 years, long time, and I worked on an exhibition many years ago in New York at the Museum of Natural History about global climate change, which in the old days they called global warming, and I realized this was a terrible situation, and being from Brooklyn, I didn't really care about nature, just sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And so I realized very important, and how do we talk about it in a way that makes sense? And I realized water was the perfect entry point, because water knits it all together. And so I developed a project, and I work with a team of water scientists, hydrologists, known as QUASI. It's a network in the United States called Consortium for Universities for the Advancement of Hydrologic Science, Inc. And we created a project together called Let's Talk About Water. And what that is about is using films that already exist and bringing scientists together and having them do a panel. And we show the film, we work at universities, and I try to make it fun, which is really hard because scientists and engineers work in a very precise world. They talk very well to each other, but they don't talk very well to the grand public, the big public, general public. And so I try to get them to speak in a more simple language. I challenge them to talk about data and how data can be expressed in a way that people can understand. And I always feel that I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting because they really are in their own world. So here in Perugia, at this conference, I cannot tell you how happy I am because here for the first time, I have been in a community of people who really understand that the science of water has got to be communicated in many different ways. And so as science looks at a hierarchy of watersheds nested from a small point to a big point, here people look at linguistics and they look at the idea of a dialect, the idea of interpersonal communication, the idea of sociolinguistics where groups talk to each other, and mass communication. But the idea that needs to link the two to create a bridge is communication. And the people here at the University of Foreigners, as well as being in this wonderful town of Perugia, has now been endowed with the UNESCO chair with somebody who is so well connected in the world, who really gets the idea that the water crisis is serious, it needs to be communicated very powerfully, that the networks that already work together need to be even deeper and bigger, and that we have to have a graphic interface and a communication interface that really works. And so they have here at this University of Foreigners the UniFactory, which is a brilliant and creative space for people to work together and not be afraid to create new ideas, maybe even fail, but to realize that the water crisis must be addressed in new ways. And they also have this wonderful Voxteca, which is a way of capturing things that are already dying and changing, and to be able to have libraries available to people online. And so I'm very proud to be here, very, very proud to be doing a Let's Talk About Water. And I was invited by Francesca Greco from the WAP that I had the very good fortune to meet in Sweden. And I'm very happy to be in this new family of friends.
Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you.